Hello, everybody. My name is Wendy Akomalafe Kalu. I lead the storytelling team at Flutterwave. Thank you for joining us on this webinar on how to sell as a business in Zambia. We're really excited that you've joined us today, and we hope that you can find as much value in this as possible. The reason that we're doing this is because when the pandemic hit, a lot of businesses and a lot of countries went into lockdown. It was very important for businesses to figure out a way to be able to do online deliveries, online sales, receive payments and stuff. And sometimes it gets a bit complicated. You're wondering about how do you get started on e-commerce? How do you receive payments? How do you do logistics? All those things. And so we've decided that we want to be able to give people this information completely free and tell you what options are available to you as a business in Zambia, and basically how Flutterwave can help you get started on selling online as a business as well. So Chichi is going to be speaking to everyone about this, and with us we have Luponga, who is going to be speaking to us as well on how his business has been able to adapt to the pandemic and what they have been able to do as well. So I'm going to pass everyone on to Chichi now, and I will be back for our Q&A session. Okay, if you have questions, please use the Q&A section or the chat function. When we're done with the presentation, we're going to go into a Q&A session and we'll be able to answer your questions. We're going to be sending this is being recorded, so we're going to be sending this to all registered attendees for this webinar probably by tomorrow or the day after, but you will receive it in your email inbox. If you don't receive it, you can keep us honest. You can send us an email and just let us know that you haven't received it, but you should receive it. Thank you so much. I'm going to pass you on to Chichi now.
Thank you so much, Wendy. Good afternoon, everyone, and thank you for joining us this afternoon for this week's session on selling online as a business in Zambia. We are basically going to focus on talking about what changes really businesses have had to make during the pandemic. I mean, we've been hit with COVID-19 and we've seen what a terrible impact it has had on some other businesses. Others have had to shut down. But we want to find out from businesses like Bongo Hive, how have they managed to sustain themselves during this pandemic? But before I dive into the discussion for today, I think what I'm going to do right now is I am going to do a small presentation just to introduce the business, first of all, at Flutterwave, and also talk about a new e-commerce platform that we recently developed for small businesses that have had to shut down. So before I cross over to Lukonga, I am going to start with the presentation right now. I hope that everybody is gonna see it. Great. All right. Is everyone able to see the presentation? Thumbs up, thumbs up, okay, great. Yes, so this afternoon's presentation is basically on selling online as a business in Zambia. And what, like I earlier said, is we're trying to focus on what solutions have businesses come up with in terms of making sure that they manage with what is going on right now. So before I dive deep into the discussion for today, I would like to introduce our company, which is Flutterwave. So what is Flutterwave and what do we do at Flutterwave? So Flutterwave is a payment technology company that helps businesses accept and make payments globally. So that means that we process credit cards and local payments like mobile money. Our headquarters is in San Francisco in America, but we have the markets in the following countries. So we have presence in Nigeria. We are also in Uganda. We are also in Kenya, Zambia, and Tanzania as well. So some of the solutions that we're offering at Flutterwave right now is what we're calling checkout. We're also issuing cards. This is virtual cards for people, let's say, that would want to do bulk payments. We also have a new product which I talked about a little bit, which is Flutterwave stores. This is very new, and I'll be able to talk about it more as we go along, and also do a demo presentation. We also do invoices, and as well as payment links. Of course, for businesses that have signed on to our platform, such as Chimfushi, they're able to pay, they're rather able to receive payments globally, or able to pay people as well. So, the impact of COVID-19 on a lot of businesses. We've seen that mainly the small businesses have been very, very badly affected with what is going on. We really didn't anticipate that we're going to go through this, but yes, it is here. And what is it that we are doing to ensure that we move forward, you know, as businesses, and also as a company, as Flutterwave? What have we done for those businesses to ensure that they keep operating? So as a business, what we decided to do is we created a very simple and seamless product called Flutterwave stores. So what basically happens on Flutterwave stores is it will allow businesses post their inventory online. People are able to get orders and have those orders delivered to their doorsteps. So as a business, if you signed on to Flutterwave stores, you do not have to worry about payments. You do not have to worry about delivery. So we do have delivery partners that we've partnered with to make sure that when a customer orders something online, that delivery partner is able to pick up the orders that the customer has delivered, and they're able to deliver to your doorstep. So because Rave also offers a platform whereby you're able to pay using your card, using your mobile money. So we've made it very easy for businesses. So you can do your selling in the comfort of your own home. You don't have to meet anyone. So yeah, with this solution, really, basically, we've tried to eliminate the issues of payments and delivery as well. So for people to sign up for Flutterwave stores, what you basically need to do is you need to sign up. Our website, you go to www.flutterwave.com, and there's an option to create an account for Rave. And as soon as you create an account for Rave, you're also able to now start creating your own Flutterwave stores. So what I'm going to do right now is I am going to play a video that was done by Ted, who is our product manager. And he did a video on how people can basically sign up for Flutterwave stores, and you kickstart doing your selling.
Hi guys, my name is Ted, and I'm a product designer at Flutterwave. I want to walk you through what we've been building for the past couple of days. Welcome to my dashboard. I'm going to walk us through two processes. The first process is how to set up your store and add products to the store. The second process will be how your customers will pay you and use your store. So I'm going to click on the store. By default, you have no products or store. So I'm going to go ahead and set up my own store now. My business name is my store name by default. I'm going to go and change mine to something else. I'm going to go with drinks and let's see, fun. You'll notice that I updated my store URL to reflect my store name. I am going to leave my store offline because I want to add products to my store before I take it live. I have successfully created my store. I now have my store name and my store URL. My URL is what I'm going to share with my customers for them to be able to make payments. You can only have one store on your Flutterwave account. I'm going to go ahead and add just one product. It's good to know that you can have more than one product. I'm going to go ahead and call this Tiger Nut Milk. Tiger Nut Milk goes for about 1,000 Naira right now. Milk that's made from tiger nut. I'm just going to go with 0.38, and I have 10 items in stock. Next step is to take my store online. Now my store is online. I am going to proceed to the customer page, which is basically your storefront. As you can see here, Drinks and Fun, that's the name of my store. Flutterwave store demo is the name of my account. We have here the description of my store. As you can see, Tiger Nut Milk, I'm going to go ahead and add 2 bottles of Tiger Nut Milk. Click on pay. I'm going to go ahead and refill this. Now we have a lot of payment options. You can give your customers a lot of payment options.
So what I'm going to do is I'm going to post the link to the video into the chat, because I know there's a few people that we're not able to see. So basically just the video was on how to sign up for Flutterwave stores, which is pretty simple. So what I'll do is right now I'll post the link, and from there you'll be able to watch the video and see exactly how you go about setting up your own Flutterwave stores. So moving along right now, I think I'm going to, on the panelist, we have 2 people. We have Lukonga, who is the co-founder of Bongo Hive, and we have Innocent also, who's the general manager at Chimfunshi. But right now, I'm going to start with you, Lukonga. Maybe you can just, I think for now, you can introduce yourself, what you do at Bongo Hive, and what basically Bongo Hive does for people that do not understand.
Great. Thank you, first of all, for inviting me on this webinar. My name is Lukonga Lindunda. I am a startup ecosystem builder, executive director and co-founder of Bongo Hive, which is an award-winning innovation and technology hub based in Lusaka, Zambia. And what we do basically is we're changing the landscape of innovation and entrepreneurship in the region. And we basically work with great minds building viable solutions that change the world. And the way we do this is by basically running a range of entrepreneurship programs, workshops and events, all focused on, of course, making Zambia the next hotbed of innovation on the continent. Yeah.
So, Lukonga, with everything that's been going on right now in terms of COVID-19, what I'd really love to hear from you is how has the pandemic really affected your business, and what are some of the changes that you've had to make during this period?
Well, I mean, the pandemic is an interesting case, right? I think there are winners and losers, and I think when this whole thing started, the question that was on our heads, especially as the leadership of Bongo Hive, was really choosing which side would be on. The great thing is that we have a tech background, technology background, basically as founders of the company. So our focus for many years, even now, has been how do we make sure that the company is ahead, that we stay ahead of the curve, and also that we are using the technologies that are relevant, not just for now, but for the future. So a lot of the negative side of the impact has been the stuff that is very traditional. So we've had to close the office space. We have a co-working space where we rent out office space to other entrepreneurs. So we had to close that down. And of course, the general negative impact on the mental health of staff. So not knowing what would happen, whether they would get infected, whether they would die. And we noticed there was a really huge dip in terms of just the mental awareness of work, and also the environment as well. We had clients as well holding out, not sure whether would reopen 2 weeks, 3 months, or 6 months from now. Our work really involves interacting with people, working with entrepreneurs. So without the physical space, in a traditional way of working with entrepreneurs, it was just impossible to think of what we would then do beyond a closed space. What we've had to do, though, and these are the positives, right? Because of our technology background, what we've seen is that by making sure that we introduce the right technologies on the team, that in one way productivity has gone up, right? So if I don't spend time chatting with you when I walk into your office on a daily basis, can I refocus that energy and that time into actually doing the work? So I think that the productivity has gone up in general because there are less distractions being in the same office. But to get that productivity up, of course, and I'll explain a little later, we've had to invest in the right tools, the right environments, recreating the office environment in people's homes to ensure that they are as productive. But one of the things which for me is very important during this period is how we've been able to maximize on our online platforms. If you look at our website now and the way it was a few weeks back, our content has changed. The way that we perceive or people that are now looking at our website is much more different, because now we're asking ourselves, if someone is not walking into the physical office, they are probably interacting with us on Facebook, on our website, on Twitter, and all these other platforms. So the best thing we can do now is to ensure that those processes are optimized, that we have people making sure that people are paying attention to those platforms, they're responsive, and also that the content is on point. And I think the last bit, which is also quite interesting for me, is that I've been a fan of remote work for a while. I think we do consider going full remote, as some companies like GitLab and others across the world, where they don't have physical offices. Personally, it's been something I've wanted to test out. We've provided opportunities for our staff members to work from home previously, but this is a good time to test that model. And it's worked out quite well. Of course, there are challenges here and there, but generally, negatives and positives, and I think as Bongo Hive, we are on the winning side. Yeah.
Okay. So do you think with this global pandemic that is going on right now, there are certain things that we've had to push forward in terms of, let's say you've talked about going remote right now. Do you think that COVID-19 in a way has had like its advantages in terms of us moving forward to maybe working more remotely?
Yes, I think it's important that, especially for businesses in Zambia or in markets which are not as advanced as other markets, let's say the US or the West, for lack of a better term, when we see our colleagues, companies, doing the things they do in more advanced markets, I always tell people here, just look out for that. That will happen here in the next 3, 4 years or 5 years. So the general awareness that people should always have when doing business is the things that you see in more advanced markets take a little more time to be adapted here. So you can't dismiss something and say, oh, it's only something that happens in the West or where people have money, right? Right. Things change very quickly, and so it's important to be aware of the trends and as leaders of businesses to see how you can adapt some of these learnings from more advanced economies. See how you can begin to test them out here. See how you can work with those within your realities, of course. So previously you would think remote working not possible. Now with COVID, it's very much possible. So for those that had thought of this before and tested out, they are much more ready than those that never thought of this, never embraced technology, and now they have to ask themselves, how do I actually start working remotely? Yeah.
Okay. So Lukonga, I'm going to come back to you later on. So right now I'm going to cross to Innocent. So on the panel, we also have Innocent from Chimfunshi Wildlife. He's the general manager there. Innocent, good afternoon, and thank you so much for joining us on this webinar for this afternoon.
Good afternoon, and thank you for inviting me.
I'm excited to have you here and to just have a conversation and just learn more on what's going on at Chimfunshi. But for a start, for the people that are listening in and do not know you and what you do at Chimfunshi, maybe you could first introduce yourself and introduce Chimfunshi and what you do there.
Thank you very much. My name is Innocent Mlenga. I am the general manager for Chimfunshi Wildlife. And Chimfunshi Wildlife has been in existence for the last 87 years. And what we basically do is we rescue orphaned chimpanzees, rehabilitate them, and then offer them that quality life which they deserve. So we are heavily into rescuing chimpanzees from all over the world, in Africa and just everywhere.
Okay. So Innocent, at Chimfunshi, you've had to go on lockdown. How has that experience been for you? And in terms of getting donations, how is it going currently?
Yeah, it's actually very interesting. You know, for 37 years, our doors have been open and they've never been shut at any time. And now with this global crisis, this pandemic, you know, when it was announced, we quickly had to shut down. The reason being that, you know, we have to keep the chimpanzees safe because they are very, very vulnerable to flu. And if you have any flu going to them, then it means that population will be wiped out completely and there will be no chimfunshi. So really, this lockdown, what it has meant is, you know, visitors, you know, researchers, no volunteers, and these are the main sources of income. You know, we generate more income from the visitors, volunteers, and researchers. So if we don't have these, then, you know, you just remain there with nothing and just hoping for the best. So this has actually pushed us into coming up with other solutions and ideas. And really, I'm thankful that, you know, within this lockdown, we've been able to come up with our own Zambian website. And yeah, we've also signed up with the Flutterwave. And donations now are pouring in. Because I know in the past, you know, we've received complaints of people saying, no, you know, we can't donate in dollars, we can't donate in pounds, but with Flutterwave, you know, there's a whole range of currencies in which you can donate. So we are relatively new on Flutterwave, but it's very exciting. It's really very exciting.
Okay. So during this period, what has been your biggest lesson?
Not to take things for granted. Yeah, not really to take things for granted. You know, we are reliant on donor support, and you see with the crisis, you don't know how many donors we've lost. So this really has been our biggest lesson, and also I think going forward is we have to, as Chimfunshi, we have to focus also on local tourism. Because we get questions from people, you know, and I'm sure some of them, they will say, what is Chimfunshi? What do you do? Do you guys exist? You know, why do you just look at monkeys? Why do you do this and that? So we have to focus also on local tourism, despite the pandemic affecting the Western world. But, you know, local tourism is also very important. And even as we start unlocking, the countries start unlocking, for Chimfunshi, it's a different case. For Chimfunshi, it's going to take long. And even in terms of visitors coming, international visitors, I don't see them coming anytime soon. So in the absence of that, we have to fall on the local tourists.
Right. Okay. I'll come back to you again. Let me just cross over to Lukonga once more. So Lukonga, I think earlier on in this discussion, you talked about shutting down your offices. So what I would like to know is, how was that transition with your staff from going to the office to now working from home? How was that transition?
Very, very interesting. So when you know, we used to watch, and I still do watch a lot of the news across the world, seeing where the pandemic is spreading. And I remember the week before we had our first case, we were planning to test our remote capabilities the following week. But on a Saturday, I think the Minister of Health announced our first positive case. But the following week, we started working remotely from a Tuesday when we planned to actually test our remote capabilities. remote working capabilities. So what we did then was to basically test it and go full remote. And I remember the following week we actually closed down. We still have staff members like the cleaners and others who go to Bongo Hive and clean the place up just to maintain the space. And also staff members can also go a couple then can still use the office space. But what we did, we got the first positive case. We already set up a COVID-19 task force. That's basically the leadership and a couple of people that are important within the organization, and created the right channels for us within the organization on WhatsApp and on Slack to make sure that the COVID-19 information was very clear, and that people knew exactly what they needed to do. We also set up, I remember the following week, we then put out our remote work handbook. So people needed to know what to do while working remotely. So we made sure that the policies was there. We also sent out a questionnaire, a survey, basically to find out, okay, how are things going? What's your mental state? What do you think we could do better? And from there, interesting feedback. People wanted to know on a daily basis what was happening in terms of COVID. So every day now we send out an update to everyone on the team. That's basically a summary of what the minister has said. But it's very important during this period that we've had to be very clear about what's going on locally, and also try to give a global perspective just for people to understand where we are in the thick of things. But one of the things that are super important, and two things that I'll mention, having to recreate the office space at home meant doing certain things. So people don't have power. We've had to provide inverters in some cases. We've had to provide financing for people to then buy the inverters and pay back over a longer period of time. We've had to make sure that we provide internet. We've had to make sure that people can actually grab chairs from the office and take them home, because as much as you expect people to be productive at home, I mean, I just have a dining chair at home, so I can't work 8 hours sitting on a dining chair. So we allowed people to take desks and chairs home, but not just that. The second important point in these 2 points, the other side is just making sure people are in the right mental state. So we had to make sure that we provided a coach. So we've had a coach over time working with the organization and the staff. So we provided someone for people to just be able to talk to about the situation at that time, and the anxiety that this brought early on was quite huge, and people were affected. So we provided some support for people to be able to get the help they needed, and over time being able to recreate some of the things we used to do in the office. So now we get on calls every week where we are matched. I am matched, for example, with one of the staff members, and for 1 hour in a week, we get to just talk about anything. So there's a lot in there, not just focused on work itself, but making sure that people's minds are settled, and we're providing the support they need to work effectively, and also that the platforms that we create online, whether it's using Slack, WhatsApp, Google Drive, G Suite, and all those platforms, that also people are able to work. So we've had to address the different aspects of the work environment from different perspectives. But at the end of the day, you should sit at home, or Bongo Hive staff should sit at home and be able to work, but knowing that they are connected with the rest of us, and that they can do work effectively and actually push the organization forward.
Okay. So what's if you can share with us what's really been the biggest lesson for you and the organization through all of this?
I think the biggest lesson, which I started with, is that there are two things, right? You can either look at COVID as the worst thing ever to happen to mankind in recent history, or you can look at it as an opportunity to find new business opportunities. So it's like people say, it's a new normal, but that new normal doesn't mean that everyone loses. There are still winners in this process, and the mindset shift has to be here's a real problem, but how do we work 110% to find opportunities even through this crisis? Because people are making money. That's a fact. Other people are making money while others are shutting down. So it's a decision that you have to make and really work hard to figure out how we're going to restructure the business to make sure that we are on the winning side. And I think we've done that quite successfully over the past weeks. And we're just hoping that when things come back to normal, when we are able to do the things that we used to do, that we don't just do things because of COVID, but we do things because the business opportunities that we've managed to explore are business opportunities that will survive not just in COVID, but beyond COVID as well. And we also, on top of that, do the same things that we used to do before. So probably 2 business opportunities that will open up just because of COVID. Yeah.
Okay. So before I come back to both you and Innocent, I think I'm going to close over to Wendy right now. Wendy?
Hi, hello. I'm here. I was just trying to look through if we had any questions from people, but we don't have any written down now. Does anyone want to share their questions, and then we can run through the questions and answers? But if we don't have any questions, I think we can just, Chichi, you can just give people the information they need to get started on Flutterwave, and also the information they need for asking questions and our social media and stuff like that. Oh, we have one question for you. Someone's asking, what exactly does Bongo Hive do? I guess you missed the intro.
Yes, they missed the intro. Okay, so we can cross over back to Lukonga just to explain again. So Lukonga, there's a question, what does Bongo Hive do? So sorry, maybe you can explain that again.
All right, thanks. And you know, the beauty about this question is that we provide products and services for different types of clients. For entrepreneurs who come to Bongo Hive, we're able to help them to figure out what to do with their businesses, and we provide the support they need to grow their businesses, right? For corporates who come to us, we basically bring that entrepreneurial thinking into their organizations, and we're able to help them to be innovative, to use digital platforms, to change their innovative culture within the organizations, for them to behave like startups, exploring new opportunities in the market. And so a lot of this is just about entrepreneurship and innovation, but we are there to help you to unlock opportunities that you have, whether it's in your small business, whether it's in a large corporate. And we do this via various ways. But the most important thing is that we're there and we have all the platforms that are necessary to help you to actualize that idea or that business that you have.
Okay, so maybe just if we can just to add more information in terms of your social medias, how can people reach out to you?
Okay, so on our website, www.bongohive.co.zm, when you go there, all the information is there. We're also on Facebook, on Twitter, on Instagram as well. Just type in Bongo Hive, and it's the same name basically on all the platforms. Yeah.
Right. Okay. Thank you so much, Lukonga. Innocent, I'm going to cross over back to you. We do have a question. So someone is asking if you could please provide. If you're able to do that, then we should be able to post it online.
Okay, we'll do so.
Thank you. Thank you so much. So going back to the discussion that I had. So what you can basically do as a business if you've had to shut down during this period and you are looking to do, you're looking to sell your product. So what you can just do is you go to our website, which is www.flutterwave.com. And when you go to the website, there's a provision for you to create, first of all, you have to create an account. And as soon as you do that, you're able to go to Flutterwave stores. So for Flutterwave stores now, you'll also be able to start now going through the process of creating a store which is very simple, very easy, and it's very fast. It should only take about 2 minutes for you to set up your store. So once you create your store, basically how it's going to happen is you are able to upload all the inventory that you have. So let's say you sell like cooking oil, the store will be able to help you put all the inventory up there, all the prices, and then the customers will be able to go to your Flutterwave store. Once you provide a link to your store, customers will be able to go to your Flutterwave stores and buy all the goods that they need. And of course, our delivery partners are able to come in and ensure that your customers are able to get the goods. So you don't have to worry about payments. As a business, we do provide a payment gateway. So you're able to pay by card. You're also able to pay by mobile money. And of course, our delivery partners are here to ensure that you get all your goods at your door and nothing to worry about in terms of who am I going to collect from, or do I need to physically go and meet the seller? There's no need for you to do that. So moving back, there's another question. Lukonga, I have to come back to you again. We have a question in terms of, and I think you've already seen that. I think someone wants to directly get in touch with you. So that's basically it. In terms of signing up for Flutterwave stores, I've also shared my email in the comments. You can reach me on, my email is nchumunya@flutterwavego.com. If you have any more questions or you'd like me to guide you getting through setting up your store, I'm here, I'm at your service. I'll be able to make sure that you set up your store. And if you need any more information, our website is up and running. You go to www.flutterwave.com. We also are on social media. We have a page on Twitter and on Facebook and
Instagram. Sorry?
Yes, Wendy, crossing back to you.
Yeah, so I was saying we're also on Instagram as well.
Yes, we are.
Yeah, so our handle is the Flutterwave. There's a V in front of it, THE Flutterwave. And we're verified on these platforms. So, some people have questions for us now. We have a few questions. Someone's asking, how many products can I load on the platform?
You can load as many products as you can. There's no limit to the number of products that you can load.
Another person is asking, where can I view my requests? And I imagine, where can I see the orders are both the same question. So where can you view your order requests and where can you see your orders? It would be on your Flutterwave dashboard. Yeah. Is it possible for someone to use their own domain name for the Flutterwave store? That is not something that we're making available just yet, but it is in the pipeline. But this is supposed to be a quick solution without having to figure out integrations, custom URL, and all that stuff. So that's the purpose of it. So it's not yet available. I'm trying to see if there are more questions.
Yes, there are. So there's a question on, could you tell us more about your delivery partners in Zambia? Yes, so in Zambia, we've partnered with Afri Delivery to make sure that all the goods that are being ordered on Flutterwave stores get to the people that are buying. And Afri Delivery have a huge presence right now in Lusaka, so they're able to go to every corner of the city and make sure that the deliveries are done. And of course, we are looking into also having more delivery partners on board, but as soon as we finalize on all of that, we should be able to update on all our social medias to ensure that people are up to date in terms of who else we've added on Afri Delivery. And then there's another question saying, do you have any plans of adding Airtel mobile money in Zambia? Absolutely. That is in the plan actually, but as for now, the only mobile money we've partnered with is MTN, sorry, and Airtel mobile money is actually something in the pipeline. We should be able to give also an update in the next week or two as soon as we finalize on that integration.
Yeah. I wanted to also mention that we do a weekly webinar called Grow My Business. It's a Grow My Business webinar, and we speak to experts in different fields all over Africa about different stages of business growth. We've talked about how to survive COVID as a business owner. We've talked about positioning yourself and packaging yourself on social media with Janet Machuka from Kenya. We've spoken about positioning yourself in crisis with Samke Mlongo. She's from South Africa. And so this is something that if you follow us on social media, you'll be able to join. It's something that we do on a weekly basis, and it's completely free as well. We do it at 10 a.m. GMT +1, which would be, if you're based in Zambia, that will be 11 a.m. So yeah, you can just register to attend, and it's really helpful. We've done it for 7 weeks now. It's been really great. So yeah. Chichi, do you have anything else to say? I think pretty much done.
No, we can hear you. We can hear you.
All right. Yeah, I'm good. Okay. So I think we have. Oh, someone is asking, how long does settlement take? And do I get notifications when I am out of stock on my store?
So settlements take what we're calling T+1. So T+1 is basically 24 hours. And for international payments, we have what we're calling T+5. So T+5 is 5 days. So we actually have the fastest settlements on our platform right now.
Yeah, and do I get notifications when I'm out of stock on my store? Do you mean,
yes,
yeah, like email
yes,
notifications?
actually come through email. Yes, yes, you do.
Yeah. Okay. Do you have anything else, Chichi? Do you want us to round up?
I think we can round up right now. So I saw there was a comment that was asking for the website for Chimfunshi. I've been able to post that in the comments, so you should be able to see it.
Okay, thank you so much, everyone, for joining us. Thank you, Innocent. Thank you, Lukonga. Thank you, Chichi, for hosting this. This was really amazing and really helpful. As I said, we're going to be posting this on YouTube, and we will send the link to you guys via email. If you have any questions, you can just reach out to Chichi. She'll be able to help. Also, our customer support email is hi@flutterwavego.com. That is also available 24/7. So you can send Chichi an email, or you can send us an email. Oh, and Chichi has posted her number in the chat function as well. So I'm gonna give you guys a minute to be able to take note of her number and her email address. And thank you so much. Have a great day, everybody.
Thank you so much for everyone. Thank you.
All right, bye-bye.
Thank you.